How would you like to learn where the money really is? And it's not in the list, it's in the tribe. In this presentation, you're going to learn exactly where you can make the most amount of money, not necessarily by selling stuff, but in a way that's completely different than what you've been taught up until now. Hello, my name is Kevin DeSilva, and I want to welcome you to this Viralizers.com video. Before we jump into the actual training, I would like to ask you something. Are you sick of any of the following? Are you sick of being told that you have to be an expert, right? Doesn't it seem like every single money-making model out there revolves around you having to be this number one expert? Like you literally have to be the person with the ultimate magic bullet solution in your market, or you can't do this. And which makes you feel like, one of these days you're going to do it, right? Just like you hear people in your town that always say, yeah, one of these days I'm going to go on a cruise. One of these days I'll take a vacation. They never do it. That's pretty much what we end up doing, because one of these days we'll be the expert. How about this? Are you sick of always needing something else before you could take action? For example, every time we buy courses, you always find out once you're in there that for it to work effectively, first you need to build an email list. Or maybe it's, first you need to go get JV partners. There's always that big missing piece to the puzzle. However, the course delivers on the positive expectancy aspect, which is where you can see that if you had that missing piece, you would be able to get results. So you can expect to get results one day, right? One of these days when you fill in that missing piece, you'll be able to get those results. But the problem is you got to fill in the missing piece, which means what? You have to spend more money and more time studying a whole nother topic. How about the fact that you're always being told you have a problem? Always being told that there's this obstacle, this thing that's in your way, and unless you overcome that obstacle, you can't do it. You have to overcome this obstacle. And where do we usually see this? In sales letters. So how does it usually work? Listen, how many people do you know are online looking to make money, and what do they do every day? I like to say that it's basically like Groundhog Day, the movie, right? Where the guy wakes up every single day and he knows every single word that's going to come out of every single person's mouth before they even think it. It's the same thing. You wake up every day. You got a bunch of people that wake up every day, go to their email, and look at what courses are being launched. They go to some sales letter, and the sales letter says, you know how you want to make money online, but you haven't gotten there yet? Well, guess what? It's not your fault. You have a problem. There's this problem over here, which is the only thing standing in your way. If you buy this course, I'm going to show you how to solve that problem. And once you solve that problem, you're golden. Money is just going to start shooting out of your computer screen while you're on a yacht, cruising in the ocean around the world, and you have servants bringing you little drinks with the umbrellas in it, right? That's what we're made to believe. Then you buy the course, and what do we find out? Yeah, this thing is going to work, but I need an email list first, or I need JV partners first, or I need to become the number one expert in my market, and I also need to create the magic bullet solution. But once I do those things, once I accomplish those minor tasks, once I become the number one expert in the world on a topic that I just picked, because a lot of people search Google for keywords related to that topic, so I'm going to go become the number one expert overnight. I mean, it's just so unrealistic, but yet we do it, right? Well, listen, I assume that you're frustrated, and guess what? Me too. Because I've been there, all right? I've been there. Let me tell you my story. And listen, my story is not a story of making millions of dollars. I'm going to tell you that right now. But it is a story how when I got started, there were days where I made more money in a single day than I had made in the whole previous year. I was able to make over $15,000, over $50,000 in sales a couple months later, all by doing what? Well, it all started in 2008 when I started a fan page. Basically, what I did was I started adding friends and what I call Viralizer fans to my audience. Now, this was at a time, a few months after social media was like the shiny thing of the month, right? So social media came out. It was like the shiny thing for a minute. And then a lot of the experts in the industry started saying social media was a fad, right? It was going to die out, and you shouldn't waste your time talking about, what you ate for dinner last night, or talking with people that you went to high school with 20 years ago, whatever. So while everybody was being talked out of using social media, because it was the shiny thing of the month at one time before that, a lot of the top people in my industry had invited their lists, their email lists, to go friend them up and follow them on Facebook and Twitter. So what I did was I went target the Viralizer fans, which are people who are part of other tribes similar to the one that I want to build, and that are the Viralizers, right? Who are the ones spreading the message? Who are the influencers, the likers, the commenters, the retweeters, and so on? And I started adding them as friends. So I built up 1,200 friends, and I invited them to become a part of my tribe. How did I do that? Well, right on your fan page, there's a link that says invite friends to become fans. And I did this, right? And overnight, boom, I had 807 fans. So what did I do? Did I implement the conventional wisdom, which was, create squeeze page, send traffic to squeeze page, hope that 30% of them opt in, and then send well-crafted emails that make believe I give a shit about them to get them to buy, hoping that 2% of the people on my email list will buy? I didn't do any of that. I did none of it. You know what I did? I gave away all my content for free. And listen, I wasn't the expert then. I still don't consider myself a quote-unquote expert now. Do I know my shit when it comes to social media? Absolutely. Am I great at uncovering new formulas and new ways of doing things? Yes, that's what I'm good at. But there's something I'm even better at, which is coaching people, right? And this is something I loved to do. So what did I do? Well, using my strengths. And listen, I would love to make it seem like there was some master plan here, but there really wasn't. See, there's all these courses out there. They're going to tell you that there's a step-by-step system, and they give you all the psychological reasons for doing each step. And I get it, because here I am in Viralizers teaching you a framework, and, there's a process to teaching people stuff, right? People have certain beliefs, so you have to hit them with stats and, the psychological reasons it's going to work and whatever. So I'm not trying to make a point that using stats or whatever is all bullshit, but what I am saying is that it's really not that complicated to figure out. Like when I was on my fan page, I didn't know what I was doing. Now I can give you all the psychological reasoning behind why what I did worked. However, at the time when I was doing this, I had no idea what psychological triggers were being pulled. I didn't do anything because of some master plan or to trick people. My only mission was every time I uncovered a new formula or something really cool, I shared it with my tribe. And again, I was not the expert. I was basically nothing more than someone who was traveling the same road as they were, somebody that's new, trying to figure all this stuff out. But I was down the road a little bit further than where they were at. And as I'm traveling down the road, every time I would uncover something or discover something myself, I would create a video and share it with them. That's all I was doing, right? Giving people a heads up. Like, right, if you're driving down the road, you see a cop coming up, call the people behind you and say, yo, there's going to be a Walmart coming up. Make sure you watch out. There's a cop parked over there. That's basically all I did, right? I just told people, hey, here's what to expect when you get here. I just basically shared all the things that I learned while going through the learning curve that they were also going to have to go through. And that's it. So what happens? Well, then I do my first webinar and get over 50% of the people on the webinar to pay me $497. Now, listen, the only reason the conversion rate was so high was, number one, there wasn't many people on the webinar. There was only like 52 people. Number two, I already knew the majority of the people were going to buy before they even got on the webinar. The webinar was basically a formality because for weeks up until this webinar, I had everyone telling me, Kevin, can you please create a coaching program? I used to have people emailing me all the time on Facebook asking me for an affiliate link to products that I did talk about and products that I never mentioned once. And again, listen, this is not, I made $14 million overnight. I don't have that kind of a story to tell you. I wish I did, and one day, maybe I will. But right now, I don't have a story like that to tell you. However, making 15 grand in one day for someone who never got past 9th grade in high school and had to go get his GED, right? Someone who spent a lot of years getting into trouble and doing stupid shit. Someone who the year before lost everything. The year before this, I lost everything. I had to file for bankruptcy. What happened was at the age of 20, I wanted to invest in real estate, right? I ordered the Carlton Sheets thing you see on TV, the infomercial with the guy, how to buy houses with no money down. So I bought that off some infomercial. And then I'm the type of person that I need to know everything about a topic before I'll take action. It's a fault, but it's also one of my strong suits, because when I dive into something, I want to know everything. It's when I'm doing that research that I uncover things that most people will never uncover. So it's those things that I'm able to share with people, right? That's what makes me good at it. That's the type of person I am. And I learned that, so I'm able to use it to my advantage now. Well, anyway, so I decided that before I would invest in properties, I was going to go and figure out everything about real estate. So I went and I took a class to become a real estate broker. Not because I wanted to get my real estate license. I only did it because I wanted to, number one, learn as much as I could about the topic. Number two, I wanted to see what the real estate agents were being taught so that they would never be able to screw me. Basically, I wanted to be on the inside. And when I took this class, I'll never forget the name of the teacher. His name was Leon. And this guy used to bust chops like you would not believe. But he made the class so interesting and fun that it wasn't even funny, right? This dude used to be like, if you would give an answer, he'd be like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And of course, me being the type of person I am, every single time he'd ask a question, while everybody else would be scared to raise their hand, I was always throwing my hand up, throwing out answers. And because of that, and because he would be like, you're so stupid, blah, 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 it actually, when he would correct me, it stuck. So anyway, I then find out that, hey, if you're a real estate agent and you buy a property, you get that 3% commission. And I'm like, ooh, nice. So I was thinking like, oh, I could sell houses to my girlfriend at the time and get the 3% commission and so on. So I was thinking all these cool things. I would get access to the MLS listing. Anyway, I end up doing that. I end up doing great. I get into mortgages because one of the things I get from my mother is being great at math, right? Being able to do calculations in your head. And then boom, all of a sudden I'm making 5, 10, 15 grand a month, right? Now at the time I was living in Boston, so the money all went because it's expensive to live out there, right? And then once my girlfriend at the time graduated college, I bought a house. At the age of 24, I bought my own house. Even though I'm the youngest of all my siblings, I was the first person to buy my own property. And I was doing great, right? I had mortgages coming at me from all sorts of places. I was getting mortgages referred to me like you wouldn't believe. I used to be so close to my clients that they used to take care of my dog when I would go on vacation, right? Like it was awesome. But then what happened? The economy just crashed one day to the next, and it was because of the mortgage market. Well, what ends up happening is no one was insuring these mortgages anymore. So they made it so impossible to do a mortgage. It wasn't even funny. I mean, I had people with 700 credit scores, 6-figure incomes. However, the problem was their property was worth less than what they owed on it. So I could no longer refinance anyone. Even the people with perfect credit and perfect income couldn't refinance them. Basically, my income went down to zero. And here I am living a lifestyle where I'm used to 5, 10 grand coming in every month. My mortgage payment with taxes and insurance came out to $3,000 a month. So what ends up happening? I lose it all. I lose it all. Now, that was a long story, but my point is that everything you see me telling you, this was, 6 to 8 months later. So to go from, losing everything, having no money to invest, and doing what I did here, making 15 grand in a day, that's a big deal. It's not make 14 million overnight big deal, but that was a really big deal to me. More importantly than the money was, how did I make the money? I made the money not because I tricked anybody into wanting my stuff, because honestly, I knew nothing about tricking people. To be honest with you, I knew nothing about tricking people. All I knew how to do was be honest and authentic. And that's what I was doing. And it worked so much better than any other marketing tactic or technique I've ever used. See, the number one closer that nobody talks about is passion and excitement. The number one thing that people used to hit me up and say is, Kevin, you have so much enthusiasm and you're so pumped up. It gets me excited. It makes me want to take action. That's what it's all about. People are looking for something to be excited about. So if you're excited about something, they'll get excited about something. You follow me? So let's move on. So this webinar was also done with no anticipation. Here's what I did. I put a post on my fan page at 2 o'clock in the morning saying, hey guys, I'm doing a webinar tonight at 7 p.m. at night. So I gave you like 17 hours of notification that there was going to be a webinar that same day. So they couldn't reschedule anything. Most people had plans, but 52 people showed up. And of the 52 people, over 30 of them purchased, okay? So then what happens? So 3 months later, And listen, in the meantime, I'm doing other things, of course, right? I'm selling, I sold a WSO on the Warrior Forum for $57 a pop, where everybody else was doing it for $7 and $12. I was doing it for $57. And listen, you'll see that the one point I'm trying to make across the board is that I was doing everything, quote unquote, the wrong way, right? Well, 3 months later, what ends up happening, I ended up becoming the #1 affiliate for a Stompernet launch where the sales price was $1,500. And it was for these stores, these online e-commerce stores. So if you wanted additional stores, it was an extra $50 a month. Okay, so I ended up becoming the #1 affiliate, not that first day, but when you add in the monthly sales, I end up becoming the #1 affiliate. A product, by the way, that was promoted by a lot of the top people in the industry with the biggest email lists. While they had way more opt-ins and they won the prizes when it came to opt-ins, when it came to sales, I had the most sales. And here's the thing, I did this all of it, without having an email list. I had a few hundred people on an email list that was generated that was generated solely from sales. I had it set up so that when somebody bought something from me, their email address was automatically added to Aweber. So my email list was only a few hundred people, but every single person was a buyer. However, when it came to become the #1 affiliate, I did it without having a list, without having JV partners. I did this all from what? From 1,200 Facebook fans and at this time, 10,000 followers on Twitter. Understand that, yeah, this is not millions of dollars. It's not. But you know what? Making that kind of money only from having 1,200 Facebook fans and 10,000 followers on Twitter. And I wasn't using Twitter. All I was doing was auto feeding content to Twitter. Now I realize Twitter is actually awesome. Back then, I thought Twitter was dumb. Back then, I didn't really get Twitter. Today, I do. But at that time, I was all about Facebook. But here's the deal. When I did this, the most important thing to me wasn't that I was making money. It was that I was making money doing something that I absolutely loved. I was the happiest I had ever been. Because what was I doing every day? I wasn't studying. I wasn't coming up with these elaborate schemes to trick people. All I was doing what I love to do, which is uncover new formulas and new information about a topic that I was really passionate about, social media, and I was just sharing it with my tribe for free. See, that is the main point. Even if you make $5,000 a month, forget making $15,000 or $20,000 in a day. Imagine making $5,000 a month, which is like $1,250 a week, doing something you love. What sounds better? Does it sound more intriguing to make $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month doing something that you absolutely love, not having to trick anybody? Basically, all you're doing is starting a fan club and chilling with that fan club and finding new things to talk about with the fan club. That's it. That's your one and only job, is to provide value to your tribe. And if you could do that and make 10, 20, hell, even $5,000 a month, wouldn't that be awesome? Isn't that so much better? Because what does the average person make at a job? $500 a week after taxes, like $300 a week? What do you think sounds better? Making over a Gino a week from talking about something that you absolutely love. See, this is what I came to realize. Because once I became the #1 affiliate, that's it. All these opportunities started coming along, right? I get contacted by some of the top people in the industry asking me to create content for their courses. I get corporations asking me to consult for them. I get private clients like you wouldn't believe. I got all these things going on. Plus the mentoring program I did, the Facebook mentoring program I did, it was a 7-week live training series where I did everything live. What I did was webinars on Thursday. Saturdays were coaching calls where I let every single person in the group ask me questions, right? And I would go one by one and everybody would be able to listen in on all the other people's questions. So I did this. It went so well that at the end of the 7 weeks, the majority of the people were asking me, Kevin, we want to keep meeting with you. Do we have to stop? So once again, here I am coming from behind. I have to create a coaching program that I wasn't thinking about creating, but the people in my tribe were telling me what to create. They were telling me what they were going to buy. They were telling me exactly what to create so that they could buy it. How completely opposite is that from most models? Most models tell you, go become expert, go create magic bullet solution, then go sell solution to your market. Instead of go find market, build relationships with the market, and have market tell you what they want. Now, the way we do it in Viralizers is even better because we don't just go and tap into other tribes to find out what they want. We build our own tribe. We build trust with that tribe to get them to the point where they'll tell us what they want and how we can make money off of them. But in the meantime, we use strategies to monetize and leverage the tribe the whole time. So whether you want to be the person that creates content at the end or not for them, doesn't matter. We talk about that in the third level of the Viralizers framework, which is called Viralizer Monetizers, but we'll get to that in a second. But here's the deal. Most people are doing it wrong. What they're doing is they're inviting people to their house. And when the person gets to the house, they open the door to walk in and there's a brick wall. See, chances are you too are spending all your time and even paying money to learn nothing but how to build walls around your value. How to build walls around your value. What am I talking about? I'm talking about stuff like squeeze pages. Because what's it all about? It's all about the list, right? The money's in the list, which means what? If the money's in the list, you have to do everything you can to get people onto that list, which means you're sending all your traffic to a squeeze page instead of putting your value out there in the form of a podcast, free videos, blog posts. You know how many people are trying to sell content and trying to be the expert without even having a blog and without blogging? And listen, I'm not pointing fingers. I used to be that person too. This is what I realized I've been doing wrong, and that's what I'm sharing with you. In 2012, I decided that I wasn't happy anymore just doing consulting. I once again felt like I was trading my hours for dollars. Yeah, don't get me wrong, a lot more dollars per hour than I would get at any job. Hell yeah. That still doesn't change the fact that I now had a job again. I was working for someone, right? I wasn't working for a boss as if I was at a regular job. Your client becomes your boss. And then when it comes to consulting corporations, you're dealing with the CMO, the chief marketing officer, who's always trying to make it seem like the ideas you're giving the corporation, they thought about it, but they didn't want to do it because there was some reason they're not doing it so that they don't look like a jackass for not knowing what should be done. You know, these are all things that happen. It's a pain in the ass world. And it's not the world that I was looking to live in. I realized that the happiest that I ever was when I was a newbie. When I was a newbie, building a tribe and hooking my tribe up, and that was it. So let's move on. The real solution in 2013 is you. I want you to realize right now, there are no obstacles in your way. None. The only obstacles in your way, the only things that you think are stopping you is, oh, I got to learn how to build a squeeze page. I got to learn how to design this. I got to learn N.L.P so I could trick people into wanting my stuff. They're all things that you don't need. The only thing that you need to do is put yourself out there. Get your value out there and get it out there now. Stop wasting time. Get your value out there right now. Take advantage of the time that you're living in and put your value out there right now for everyone to see. Once you build up your tribe, believe me when I tell you, there's a million ways to monetize that tribe. Let me ask you something. When you hear a song on the radio, a brand new song that you've never heard before, you just heard it for the first time, and you think, holy shit, that's a great freaking song. What do? When the song is over, you listen to see if the DJ mentions the artist that created that song. That ever happened to you? You know, you're driving on the highway or whatever, and you hear a song come on the radio, and you're like, oh shit, that's a sick jam. And what do? You wait until the song's over, and then you listen to the DJ. What happens if the DJ doesn't mention the artist's name? Do you give up on finding out who sings that song? Of course you don't. You start calling your friends. You start listening to the radio more so that you can hear it again and see if they mention that name of the person. Now listen, does the artist singing the song at the end of the song have to say, hey, if you want to listen to more of my songs, go over to newsongthatyouLike.com and put your email address in so you can find out who sings this song? Of course not. Because here's the deal. When people find you, your message, what you're doing interesting, when somebody sees one of your videos, your blog posts, whatever, out there on the net, in social media, and they read it, even if there isn't a link back to your website, they do this crazy thing, which is, you know what? They go to Google and they search for your name or your business name, and they find your website that way. The point is, if you put your value out there, people will find out who you are, and they will find a way to get onto your list if that's what they want. but your value has to be out there. Let me talk about something else. What's the average percentage of people that buy stuff, right? Oh, there's only 2% of the people are going to buy your stuff. Bullshit. Every single person in this world is a buyer. They're a buyer when it comes to something, right? Maybe this person's a buyer when it comes to electronics. Maybe this person's a buyer when it comes to buying information products, whatever, right? That person over there likes to buy costumes for their parrot. You know, everybody's a buyer when it comes to a certain thing. My point is this. The conventional wisdom is what? Send traffic to squeeze page. So let's say you send 1,000 people to that squeeze page. On average, about 30% are going to put in their email address, which means you just lost 700 of those people. 700 of them gone. To get 300 to opt into your mailing list. For what? So that you can then send them well-crafted emails to get them to buy your stuff, which 2% of them on average will do. Which means what? 2 out of 100. So that means that 6 out of 300 are going to buy. Only 6. But here's the deal. Even if you were able to charge those 6 people $10,000 each, right? You would have made 60 grand. Win, right? But here's the deal. Once that happens, how many people in the world know who you are? And know how valuable your information and your teachings and your message and your ideas are? 6 people. Only 6 people. That's it. What do you think is more valuable? Making 60 grand or having 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 loyal followers that all know how valuable you are? So here's the deal. Old school way of doing things is paying for searchers, right? On Google, we're paying per click for what? For searchers, people that are searching for a topic. The new way of doing things is building tribes, and it's free to do. We build tribes not by running pay-per-click ads to some squeeze page. We build tribes by going to the tribes that already exist in our market, recruiting the viralizers, the people who spread the message in that market, into our tribe. And how do we do that? We provide them with massive value by creating what we call next level content. Let me ask you a question. Who do you think can easily make more money? Is it the person with the same amount of persuasion over a small tribe or a bigger tribe? Think about that. Now listen, don't get me wrong, because having a small tribe is fine. You know, like having a tribe of 300 people in certain markets, that would be plenty. However, with that said, though, who do you think makes more money? The person with the big tribe or the small tribe? All right, so the obvious answer is going to be the person with the big tribe, right? Now, let me ask you something. How do you think it's easier to build yourself a tribe? Would it be by selling them stuff or giving away value? Which is it? If you give away value, do you think you're going to build a bigger tribe that's more loyal and that trusts you? What do you think? Once again, the answer is obvious, right? Now, here's the biggest myth. That giving away your value for free equals no money. It's just not true. The real truth is that free equals a loyal tribe. You can make so much more money than you ever would selling information. And what does a loyal tribe equal? A loyal tribe equals a lifetime of income. That's what a loyal tribe equals. If you have a loyal tribe that you provide massive value to, they will stick with you forever. Now, the reason I tell you to look at a tribe as a fan club is because of this. The conventional wisdom would be go after a market that makes a lot of money, right? Go after a market that makes a lot of money. People want to get their teeth whitened, and that's a good market, so go after that market or whatever. Now, when you build a tribe and you look at it as a fan club, now you're going after people that are a fan of a topic. So let me ask you a question. Somebody like me, who is an absolute nutcase of a fan when it comes to New England Patriots, someone that enjoys sitting out in the snow for hours, tailgating, waiting for the game, and when given the option to sit inside in the luxury seats or go stand out in the snow because it's closer to the field, chooses to instead stand closer to the field in the freezing snow instead of being nice and warm inside because it's all the way at the top. That scenario actually happened. So I had the choice every single game to sit inside, but I didn't. I always chose to stand outside because I was such a rabid fan. I wanted to be there cheering them on, right? Now, this was 8 years ago. Today, I'm still that crazy of a fan. And in 10 years from now, I'm still going to be that crazy of a fan. Most likely, I'll be an even crazier fan. Because hopefully by that time, I'll be bringing my son to the games. You follow me? When you're a fan of something, it's something that you'll be a fan of for life. If you build a tribe of people that are fans of a topic, they can literally become lifetime customers. Now, conventional wisdom would tell you go create solutions for people that have pains. Somebody that has a pain, after you solve that pain, now you got to convince them that they have another pain and another pain and another pain. Wouldn't it be so much better to instead build a tribe that's made up of true fans of a topic that you're a true fan of? Because that's important. You have to be a true fan just as they do. And if it's a topic that you're a true fan of, what could be cooler than that? Nothing. You're going to get paid to be a fan. Now, how do you do that? That's what we talk about in Viralizer Monetizers. So here's how to build your tribe. There are 3 parts to the Viralizer framework, or levels to the Viralizers framework. Level number 1, Viralizer fans. We've talked a lot about those already. You have to be a Viralizer fan and you want to recruit Viralizer fans. And in the Viralizers training on the website, we're going to show you how to recruit those fans, how to turn those people into Viralizer fans of yours, and so on. Level 2 is Viralizer sites. Level 3, Viralizer monetizers. So again, the Viralizer fans, we've gone into this, okay? These are the likers, the retweeters, the commenters. These are the most active, hungry people in your market. And in Viralizers, on the training, on the site, and the podcast, and so on, I'll be showing you how to recruit them, how to build them, and so on. The next level, Viralizer sites. There are 3 groups of Viralizer sites. There are online giants, there are niche giants, and there are social media sites. The first group, online giants. These are the Amazons, the iTunes, and so on. Group number 2 is the niche giants. You need to know by heart all the top sites in your market. You need to know who the editors of those sites are, the creators of those sites. You need to know the people that are guest posting on those sites and go check out those people's sites. You need to really know your market, okay? Because when you do, when you're on social media and you see a post from the editor, you can interact with that editor. You can interact with the creators, the influencers, the other tribal leaders in your market. Because one of the things we want to do with niche giants is find the top blogs in your market and guest post on them. When it comes to online giants, we take advantage of those sites by creating podcasts or web shows so that we could put the podcast or web show onto iTunes and Stitcher Radio and other sites that have huge tribes. iTunes, as of September of 2012, over 400 million users. Listen, iTunes is nothing more than a search engine. People don't get it. The difference is for the term weight loss, in Google, there's something like 417 million results. In iTunes, the number 6 podcast hasn't added a new episode since 2007. Think about that. Everybody's all crazy about Google. You're competing against hundreds of millions of people. In iTunes, you're competing against a handful. Think about it. Even though Google has a lot more searchers, they also have a lot more competition. iTunes has less the amount of searches of Google, but percentage-wise, when it comes to competition, is basically 0.000003 or something. Realize the culture shifts. The culture shifts are sites like Amazon, iTunes, and so on weren't here 5 years ago. Understand that today there are opportunities that weren't here 6, 7 years ago. So understand that most of the models out there are the same models that have been being taught for 5 years over and over and over again. But it's version 2.0 and 3.0 and 4.0. But those models were created at a time where a lot of the things that you could be taking advantage of today weren't here. So again, Viralizer sites, what do? We create next level content, aka podcasts, ebooks, so on. The ebooks go on Amazon. The podcasts go on to iTunes and Stitcher Radio. And obviously there's more sites, but I'm just giving you the overview here. And then also we can use those podcasts and those ebooks to share on social media sites. Because when you share something like a new podcast episode or an ebook for free on social media, that has a chance of going a lot more viral than a link to your squeeze page. You see what I'm saying here? You see the difference? All right, then next, Viralizer monetizers. Now, let me break this down for you. In the Viralizer monetizers, we have 4 different ways of monetizing. Number 1, ads and sponsorships. So basically, the more people you can provide value to through your podcast, the more people that consume that value, the more money you can charge a sponsor to mention their company name at the beginning of your podcast, if you give away value in the form of a digital magazine, by finding some of the up-and-comers in your market, having them write an article once a month to put in your magazine, you do 10 articles and 10 pages of ads, boom, there's your magazine. You go to graphicriver.net to get the template for the magazine. And once again, the more people that consume the value in that magazine, which you give away for free, think about this now, all you're doing is giving away value for free. And the more people that will consume that value, the more money you could charge the person that wants to run ads in your magazine. Isn't this so much better? Understand that our model is based on the more people we provide value to, the more money we make, but not because we're charging them, because we're charging for access to them. Now, the second way to monetize with Viralizer monetizers is with affiliate promotions. You can either recommend a product and or service. Now, listen, you have to recommend products and services that you actually use. See, the thing that sucks about the internet marketing world that nobody tells you is that when it comes to JV partners, you do a launch, you get a bunch of JV partners to mail for you, and then you know what you're doing? For the next 6 months to a year, you're promoting all of their products because you need to give the favor back to them now. So now everybody's email list becomes nothing but a pitch fest. Right or wrong? What we do, complete opposite. All we do is recommend products and services that we actually use or that are congruent to what we're doing. And we don't just promote stuff. What we do is we do something called content marketing. So right within the content, we might link to a product or a service. You follow me? Now, the second way to make money with affiliate promotions, and probably the best way, is by interviewing the product or service creator. That's the other way. The third way to make money is with CPA offers. Everybody says you don't want freebie seekers, you don't want tire kickers. Guess what? Yeah, you do. Because you can make money for offering the freebie seeker a freebie. I'll give you an example. RevResponse.com. Go check it out. I already talk about all this stuff on the framework video, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. And the fourth way is the best way. This is the ultimate goal. You'll get to a place where the tribe will start telling you what apps, softwares, services, content, coaching programs to create for them. You follow me? You can ask them, hey guys, what would be a cool app? They'll tell you. What would be a cool service or software? They'll tell you. And you start creating services and softwares. Not to mention, you can get book deals. You can get all sorts of things. When you have a tribe, amazing things start to happen. I would love to tell you which ones it'll be for you, but it's different for every person in every market, right? So I can't make promises like that. But what I can promise you is things will start to happen. When the public knows about you, and not just the people that opt into your squeeze page, when the public knows who you are, you win. Why do you think every president is a millionaire when all he made as a president was $300-400 grand a year? You know how? Because everybody knows who he is. When everybody knows who you are, you'll get a book deal. You'll get paid to go speak at events. A lot of opportunities arise when people know who the hell you are. Which is why I say again, the solution in 2013 is not me, it's not Viralizers, it's not any other course, it's you. Even though I'm about to tell you about a coaching program that you can join, the real goal is for you to put yourself out there without me. Okay, so let's move on. How do most people screw this up? They care only about the money. They care only about the money. And then they try to sell too fast. Understand that this is not some tactic. Understand that I'm not trying to teach you to go build a tribe so that you can email market the hell out of them and promote affiliate products. Please understand that what I'm teaching you is to build a tribe and honestly provide them with value and honestly care. I know it might come off as if this is some step-by-step to making people think you care. No, I'm telling you, these are the steps, but you have to actually care. If your heart is not in it, it won't work. Number 3, you try to follow too many plans. Don't try to follow this plan and that one. It doesn't work. Because if you use this plan to build your tribe and you use some other plan that's all about promoting shit and making money off affiliate products, but really pitching until they buy or unsubscribe, you're going to ruin that tribe and you won't get what we're talking about. So listen, what to go do right now? Go invite the Viralizer fans of your market to become a part of your tribe. I have videos on Viralizers.com that'll show you how to do this. Provide them with next level content. This is, create a podcast, a web show. Again, Viralizers.com is going to be all about this. Add the next level content to the Viralizer sites. Guest post on the top sites in your market. Submit the podcast to iTunes and all the other podcast directories. Submit the ebook to Amazon, and then set up your Viralizer monetizers. Now listen, I've already had people ask me about coaching, okay? Now, again, I'm not really looking to do a lot of one-on-one private consulting, However, I am going to be doing a group coaching program like I did with Facebook mentoring, where we all jump on a call. I let every single person in the group ask their question while everybody else listens in, and we become another tribe and we mastermind together, okay? You get access to any and all products that come out under the Viralizer brand. And of course, if you're a part of the group, if you ever need some help, you will be able to email me once in a while, as long as it's about something that you actually need help with, okay? I won't accept emails asking me questions about people's hosting accounts or whatever. You know, I'm not a customer service rep for every single product and service out there. You need to contact the product creators. You know, I get a lot of clients contacting me about services that they signed up for that I've never used before. I still help them figure it out. However, I'm not looking to multiply that by large numbers. If you would like to join the coaching program, you can only get in by applying, okay? You have to fill out a quick application. It's nothing major. It's just I need to see if we're a good fit. And listen, you must be an action taker. I am not looking for people that pay and then either don't show up or, even worse, show up, ask questions, and then 2 months down the road, they're still asking the same questions. Why? Because they're not taking action. I'm not looking for those people. This is going to be a small group. Listen, you already know, I'm not out here trying to promote this coaching program. I've already been asked by a few people, hey, are you going to be offering coaching? That'd really be cool. You know, they're really into what I'm doing, but they would like some guidance. They would like me to hold their hand. So what we're going to be doing is a group coaching call once a month, maybe twice a month. I'm the type of person that loves to help people. So if people would show up to 2 calls a month, I'd be more than happy to do it. So there's a very good chance we'll end up bumping it up to 2 calls per month. Which the cool thing is, if you get in today, you'll be grandfathered in at the $97 a month. So here's the deal. What you'll do is, in the URL I give you here in a second, you're going to go to that URL, you're going to fit out an application, and then you're going to have to leave a $97 deposit. Once you leave that $97 deposit, I get sent the application, and then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a call with you and I. All right. I'm going to talk to you to make sure that I can help you and make sure that we're going to be a good fit. Okay. As long as we're a good fit, you'll be led into the group. However, if we're not a fit, you'll instantly get a refund. If you decide we're not a good fit, you'll instantly get a refund. I'm only offering this because I know some people are going to need some hand holding and they're going to need some help along the way. They're going to need someone to answer their questions, you know, every couple of weeks or whatever. So understand that that's why I'm doing this. So listen, if you would like to apply, all you got to do right now is go over to viralizers.com/apply. Once again, that's viralizers.com/apply. Fill out the application, leave your $97 deposit. We will set up right away a call with you and I where we'll figure out if we're a good fit for each other, if I can help you, and if you are, and if we are a good fit and I think I can help you, which I think will be the case in most cases. It's not like you're applying for a mortgage or anything, you know what I mean? As long as you're a fan of something and you enjoy this online stuff, I mean, you can do it. And with my help, you'll do it even faster. So that's it. That's it. No fancy pitch here. And listen, regardless, you'll always be able to go to viralizers.com, and I'm going to help everybody there as much as I can. The only difference is here, you're going to be able to jump on a call with me and others that are actually building Viralizer businesses, and you'll be able to mastermind with the group, and you'll be able to ask me all the questions that you can. And again, on the calls, I'm the type of person that will sit there and answer every single person's question, even if I have to do a 3, 4, 5 hour call. That doesn't matter to me because I love helping people. I sincerely enjoy helping people. So listen, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a ton of value. Whether you join or not, I hope you got a ton of value, and I hope to see you on viralizers.com, commenting and leaving feedback, and going over to iTunes, subscribing to my podcast, and leaving a positive rating. That's even cooler. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the inside.